be slow. We know it's going to be low. It's Bro and Brew time,
Bro.
baby.
Yeah. Bro and Brew on the cards. Bro and DRX. Varus and Vi banned away. Banning Jace on blue side. Always an interesting thing to go for. But both Morgan and Doran decided that, hey, we don't want to play Jace. We can't. And they just didn't for a whole 3 games. That actually happened. I was very disappointed.
I just now also thought of a great Bro and Brew topic for when First Blood hasn't fallen in 18 minutes.
I'm excited.
Oh, this is going to be a banger, fellas. The Fairy taken away. That's one of the Sponge champions that he has actually performed very, very well on. Does mean that a Sejuani possibility remains. That's another champion that Sponge often heads towards, and maybe Morgan wants to make sure that Humbug can play that. Sejuani would make sense, but Xin Zhao is strictly better, so I'm not too surprised that that gets locked in instead. Very versatile. Humbug gonna pick that one up.
Yeah, Xin Zhao, great first pick. You can go forward, you can go backwards, you can create space, you can attack. You can kind of do everything with this champ, and he's in a very good spot in the meta. What are we going to see on the side of DRX? Still a lot available here, as it's obviously you know, the first game of Fearless. Nothing is Fearless banned yet. Kalista left up, and so they're gonna play Kalista.
Oh yeah, oh, you love to see it. I think Talia blind is somewhat of a risk. There are some champions that can outrange her and actually make her early laning phase rough. But I was ready for the Talia and Poppy slam into Lazyfield doesn't actually get to play the game at all. So I actually really like this pickup here. And if Brion don't prioritize that Poppy, they can just ban it. Or they can pick it up even on 3 or 4. Obviously gonna have the first pick coming out of the second round of bans.
There's an issue with this, though, is that they leave Rumble available.
Yeah.
You know, Ahri could have been played as well, something that does well into Talia. Closer just elects to go for Azir instead. Azir very strong.
Rich Galio angle. That's a Rich champion.
Yeah, or Aurora, or Ryze.
I'd rather see Rich on Galio. Rich, I know, I don't want to see you. No. You need to do a lot on Aurora.
I'm willing to wait and see. I feel like it's got a very good lane, and Rich is, at times, he's struggled in lane. I feel like his team fighting is all right.
I think Rich is a player in the same archetype as Doran, where I'm like, I don't think you should handshake the carry versus carry. I think you should look for something else. But we'll see. Maybe he proves me wrong, and then that'd be maybe happy as well, because Rich is a great player. It's always been fun to watch. We do have the AP topside locked in, so maybe some AD jungler bans. I could see a Viego ban. What else do we have here that synergizes well with the... Anything with point and click CC really would be good with Talia. But there's not that many left. Viego's the main one that you think of. Otherwise you get to like Volibear, that type.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the end of the world. But that obviously is extremely all-in on the early game.
That's also very out of the meta, and this is the LCK.
Well, I've been told by Kobe that Volibear is always relevant. Okay,
well, you know.
Hey, they're lost picking. Clearly setting up for something. It's Viego. It's Viego.
It's Viego.
It's Viego.
Kalista Alistar is a very strong lane. We don't see it very often. It doesn't quite have the same bite as like a Kalista Nico or a Kalista Renata Glass or something that has range.
Oh. I was looking
Kalista Varus.
Yeah. Looking towards the Ezreal. But Jhin works extremely well with this comp, right? He's so much damage. You have other big AD threat as well as Palu. Gonna go towards Nautilus, in one of his favorites. Has played it a ton.
Yeah. Nocturne.
Aurora Nocturne. I kind of like it. This is nameplates on. I'm worried for DRX, but I do think this is that's the reality. But I do think this is a good comp. Provides you with, it's more conditional, but it is still a way to lock down targets so that Talia can throw them back in. You have a really good side lane threat, and then you have the Aurora Nocturne combo. One of the biggest issues with Aurora is getting backline access. With Nocturne, that becomes a lot easier. I can see the logic behind this composition. I don't mind it, but then I look at what OKManBro have, and it's closer on his Azir, and then just absolute S-tier champions across the board. Really, the only one where you're like, is the Nautilus, which is still great.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like our AD carry meta is also very much in flux.
It's utility, right? We're playing so many top lane carries.
Yeah.
So just pick, even
fine.
Kalista you can argue has a ton of utility with her ultimate.
We see a lot of Kalista games where she does like 7k damage, you know.
And she still feels strong.
She's strong, she wins lanes, she threatens a lot. And she also threatens a lot of objectives as well. Endure hardship, become a dragon.
Well, they did win Worlds, so true.
Yeah, I'm good for it. I think that makes sense. We'll see what dragon actually gets played in this game, if any. Here comes OKManBro's composition. As you mentioned, you pretty much like everything here, and it all kind of works. On the side of DRX, a lot of flanking potential, a lot of global threat as well with the Nocturne to Leon. Let's see how it works. Let's hop on the rift for game number 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right, game number 1. And already we're getting into the action. LazyFeel is definitely a guy who can get pretty aggressive. He is a Vietnamese player, and I feel like the Kalista is really going to suit his playstyle. Now, if he does go a bit too ham, he can absolutely be punished by the insane amount of close-range threats on the side of Bro. Like the Nautilus can really just do a number, right? If you just press your ult, it really just forces you to either totally disengage or accept the fact that if you get hit by that ult, you're probably dead. So there's a very fine line you have to walk in these team fights. So it's a really tough test for LazyFeel, I'd say.
Yeah, you do just die if they press, until you have Wit's End, I guess then it's not as bad. But if they press Nautilus and Rumble ult, how can you play the game? You can't, but I do think that this is where I actually really like the composition with additional threats. So if you go too hard on the Kalista, with Talia, Nocturne, and Aurora, there's so much additional damage available. As I'm going to take a look at some of the early laning here.
LazyFeel, he missed a minion. Flash on in, looking for the kill and a hype at level 1. And it's not going to happen because it's level 1. A lot of summoners utilized here. Andil loses his flash. Trying to put on pressure, maybe to hit level 2 first. Should be able to, based on this lane state. But Hype and Palu smartly will just back away, unlike some of our other bot lanes who are still figuring that out.
Level 2 power spike is definitely not something we've been talking about for... What was the first time we saw Alistair Tristana? That was the combo, right? The level 2 power spike.
Like 2010?
I want to say season 2?
20...
Maybe season
11?
1? Yeah.
Too far ago to even remember.
Atlas would know. He'd be like, back in my day.
Yeah. Also Papa Smithy would know.
Yep.
It's like, I remember a game between Dignitas and Fnatic where... That's not a very good Papa Smithy voice, but...
No, it's fine. He is, I don't know the English word, but like you can't imitate him.
No, you can't, yeah.
Can't be done.
Unimitatable.
Yeah, exactly. So my conversation topic, because we will have plenty of time to discuss it.
Bro and Brew.
Starting with these two teams, we can branch this out to really any team. If they were a drink, what would they be? And I'm talking like matcha, hot chocolate, coffee, and then you have the different types of coffee, right? Like what is the... So I think Breon, it's got to be something that ages well, like a kombucha, you know?
It's like it's like a chamomile tea or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very relaxed, very calm.
It doesn't create any stress.
Warm,
you enjoy
herbal.
it, you're always good.
Well, we're just running at them. Apparently, Palu does not get his Aftershock off until, well, right now. He's not doing much, but Andil also pretty low and might just go down here, but the rest of the team is on the run. And so first blood is given over to the Jhin, but now the follow-up comes in from DRX. He's got the fear on the Hambach. There's the knockback, and that's a couple of kills for the Kalista. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Rich having a bit of trouble in his counter pick lane. Not sure about that, but DRX won the fight regardless.
Short trade, not too hot. Undo goes down, but that is 2 kills on LazyField. Which is about where you want to be as Kalista. Immediately the swap comes through to a top as well, and it makes sense. Zin's out, definitely strong early, but Azir trying to make an early impact, not something that you're really going to excel at, as we have a waiting cow. Is the cow real? We'll never know.
Yeah.
Undo was just there for a second.
Disappearing cow.
Sponge, he's happy though, because he picked up 2 assists, which obviously is ideal. As this all starts off with Undo going in, and it looks a little bit over-aggressive initially. A lot of sums are invested, and Hype is able to actually take down the cow, but then in this longer trade, sums are already blown, so Sponge applies his red buff, and then the flick back from Yukel to ensure that LazyField picks up a second. And teams, DRX, great. Good call. Bro, why are we trying to fight an extended early skirmish into lethal tempo Kalista? Why are we doing that?
Into the unwarded Banana Brush with level 3 Nautilus with no items. Yeah, no, that just didn't make any sense at all.
And this is the downside, you know, even no matter how nice it is, if you brew your tea for too long, it's not good. If you serve it too hot, you can burn the tea.
Yeah.
It makes it bitter. They burned the tea there.
Yeah, I didn't very much enjoy it.
So what's DRX?
DRX.
It's like a drink that was because they were a hype, right, in 2022, and then kind of died down.
Yeah, and now it's like,
Eh.
it's a bit eh.
You know what they are? They're Dalgona coffee. You remember when everyone made the
Dalgona
yeah,
coffee.
there you go.
Yeah, there's something that were very much hype during their time.
It's still nice. You can still make it.
Yeah.
It's still
Just
fine.
nobody's really talking about it anymore.
No.
Hambach's just he's getting bullied here on the Dragon. And
Hambach, I know you have healing, but you don't have that much. He's just that.
he's just gonna die. I mean, he didn't have flash, so either he sticks around or we do have our fellow bro fan here on the space, Dion. He's not very happy with these plays, and for a good reason. I think that bro they've gotten a little bit confused here at the beginning of this series. You know, they brewed their coffee for just a little bit too long.
You got to be careful with your herbal teas. You can't serve the water like boiling. I'll let it cool down a little bit. All right, so DRX is Dalgona coffee.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, by the way, you're in for... It's when you mix instant coffee and sugar and it turns into a magical foam. It's great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think KT is like a vodka Red Bull.
I wasn't going to go with alcohol. I think KT
Where
just...
it's very up and down, you know?
Just combine as many energy drinks as possible.
Yeah, and that
both-
also works.
Both the energy spike and then the subsequent calm down.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thanks, LazyField.
My favorite part is like, his teammates will not know that happened.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say
It didn't
anything.
even make
He
any
just
noise.
left.
The clapping didn't even make
He's
any
too
noise.
locked in. And I get it. This is a super high stakes, like high pressure scenario for the player. Yeah, I know, again, you've already played in Low Park, you've already been on this stage, but it's not the same.
Yeah. I mean, for LazyField as well, I mean, his Korean is getting better, but he's also obviously not a native Korean speaker, so maybe he wanted to say something, but it didn't immediately come to mind, and he's like, well, I'm just going to clap. You know, I'm just supporting.
It's also
doing my
safe
job.
in Korea. Just do the clap. It's very popular.
Somebody's having a birthday,
So Genji,
clap along.
Genji's boba. That's easy.
Why is that?
Because you had tiger sugar and they're tigers. I don't...
Well,
Are they not?
I don't know, because boba, I feel like is
It's just
either
universal.
you absolutely love it, or you're like, why the hell would anyone eat?
Oh, so it's DK.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. DK can be boba.
So Genji or...
I feel like Genji are just water.
No. Oh.
It's just
No, Genji is
You
maybe
know?
maybe Earl Grey. It's not the most interesting, but it's so good. It's so.
But that's what water is.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's universal. Everybody can enjoy it. Even though it is very straightforward.
Is T1 just coffee? Just any? Because the most popular, right? The most
Yeah.
universally beloved. It's just coffee. Is that it?
I guess so. Cola?
Yeah, cola makes sense.
I think cola. I don't know. A lot of people aren't drinking too much soda nowadays, but not everybody drinks coffee either.
Well, you have different variations, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Humble Life is matcha.
Why is that?
Because you have to be a little bit of a hipster to like Humble Life. You know, maybe you were already a fan of them in 2021 when they had Chovy and Deft on the roster.
Yeah.
And they're still, at this point...
What about when they had Viper and Lehens?
Well, yeah, oh god, yeah.
That's a true hipster.
Yeah, if you were with them since then, when they were 10,
Yeah.
it did happen. Yeah,
I think that works, actually.
I think that the only problem
Some kind
is
of
that...
hipster drink.
Well, now they're popular, right? Because they have Zeus and Peanut and a ton of other players that are just...
They could be
Viper.
like kombucha, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that's not popular enough.
Closer, flip back, he's dead. Yep, nope, just standing in front of the level 6 Nocturne and disrespecting the Talia, and you're just going to die. Didn't even flash.
That's with
Just
Flash
died.
Up as well.
Giga Chad.
This is what we were worried about coming into today. It's exactly what we mentioned.
I
Yes.
wasn't that worried, I just kind of expected it.
Well, worried because Bro have been a lot better thus far. I'm not saying worried as in like. It also for me means that DRX is actually playing to their strengths because Yuka has been great. Sponge is good when he gets kills, and right now he's a Nocturne that I'm pretty sure has free stacks on his Ultimate Hunter, which is basically the dream. That's where you want to be.
He didn't say anything else except mid, like 4 times. Yeah, the Nocturne's vibing, having a great time, farming out of control, but then showing up at the right time for fights.
So Nongshim is noodle broth? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just noodle broth. Yeah, I mean, there's no other option really, right?
I know that's not technically a drink, but you know when you make like a mug of just broth? When you're feeling a little sick and you're like, oh, I need some.
Yeah, if it's like chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just learned from G-Sun that Nongshim once sold a tea bag that is just, it just makes broth, like soup broth. So as cursed as that sounds, I think that's exactly what Nongshim is.
Yes, that's perfect.
It just fits them so well.
All right, so Bro's Chamomile, KT is shotgunning 3 different energy drinks.
Yeah, you're along for the ride in one way or another, for better or for worse.
What's B&K?
Well, we'll have to wait on that one, Chroniclers. Rich is in a lot of trouble, just 100-0, no chance for him. And so, bro, they prove they can do it too.
Just that.
Yeah.
We'll see. The contest is going to come through. Might have to hold a drink conversation. No, okay. Bro is back in. It's okay. Because for B&K, I'm thinking like sand.
No.
Because it's a sandstorm. Well, you can do like...
Yeah, but it's not a thing.
No, but you have like Turkish coffees. You heat them up in the sand.
Okay, well, that's not sand.
Well, that's not that. The drink isn't sand.
Well, that's what you said.
Well, I mean, we can also go with like coconut, you know, like coconut water.
Coconut water?
Yeah, because you're
Why?
on the beach. There's a sandstorm. You're thirsty. There's a coconut.
I don't think there are very many sandstorms at the beach.
Well, I know that, but what do you got then? Are they like a spicy drink?
They kind of are because, you know, they still have this reputation
Oh, you know what?
for being just relentlessly aggressive, even if they're losing.
They're hot chocolate, and then someone was like, you know what?
Spiked.
I've heard hot chocolate. It's actually a thing, like hot chocolate with a little bit of cayenne, like a little bit of.
Oh.
And then someone did that, but then accidentally the cap fell off, and you just have too much spiciness. And you're like, is this supposed to be this? And they're like, yeah.
It's like a wasabi flavor.
That's how they. That's how they. It's just cayenne pepper in your hot chocolate. That's how they like it.
I don't think very many people like that.
Well, no, they don't.
It's probably one person in chat who does, though.
Well, I've actually tried. It's surprising. If you do just a hint, it's nice. I know. I can see you're not convinced.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. If anything, you would put salt in it. because
you
that
put salt in
enhances
everything.
the...
Okay, put salt in everything. That's fine. No, you get just a hint.
At every
Yeah.
stage, right? You gotta put salt.
Very good. Look at this man,
I'm learning.
professional chef. So then we
Ando
only
really
have,
wants to dive. And he's gonna get it. The flash comes in, the knockback as well. And once again, Morgan's like, well, there's no point in me flashing now. I'm just dead. And that is the combo that DRX have drafted. It works again.
I'm loving this play from DRX. It's actually so clean. Every single time the cooldowns are up, we are pushing our prio, right? In this case, it's UCal. We've seen it happen across the map now. Get prio, set up, sponge ults in. No counter plays. Oh,
Any
Rich.
wall hiders?
Oh,
he saw him.
Rich,
He saw him.
knows.
Okay.
Rich, I feel like you saw him and then still walked forward a little bit. Oh, it's like back cancel? Don't do it. Don't do it, Rich. Don't fall for it.
He could have done it. I mean, he is Aurora, but he doesn't know exactly.
Yeah, we only got DN Freaks left. And I don't want to tie it to the current season.
What about
Too
last
much.
season?
Well, last season they were fine, right? Last season, like the last
Yeah, I mean, they were
couple,
okay,
they've been no, they've never been crazy, but they've been solid. Like Dr. Pepper.
Maybe something that's really fallen off in recent years, you know? Because like the org itself it does have a lasting legacy.
Yeah.
They've been very successful. They've gone to finals in the past, and as you mentioned, they haven't been 0 and 8 DNF forever. So I think they do deserve
What would it be?
some amount of credit, but this year not.
I'm not so sure. Drink that fell off.
Well, something that's really American.
I don't know.
I don't think it exists. It would only be like a big cola, but that doesn't really work. So
I'm trying to think of a hot drink that was like really popular and everyone drank it, and then at some people were like, yeah, kind of done with this.
yeah,
We'll give it some thought.
yeah, we'll have to bro and brew the.
We've had 7 kills.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the correct drink for DNF.
Oh,
We'll have to
yeah.
brew it up. Yeah.
Just think about it.
With our Nongshim spicy soup tea bag. We're just doing the Rift Herald tier for DRX. They are ahead enough, I feel like, and especially with the Callista. They got very
control
nice
the brush.
turn. And yeah, the banana brush, they are just going to go for a full turn. The target selection, not exactly the best, and the peel is actually pretty nice, but do they have the damage? The answer is not quite, as Yukal came in from behind and also just ripped them apart. There's the knockup once again. Ando going to find another, and it is an absolute slaughter in favor of DRX. They get 4 kills off of the back of that play.
Ando did kind of kill Sponge there, but I think it's fine. They'll take it nonetheless. Got the kill on Morgan, thanks to that as well. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, not a great game to be a bro fan at this point.
They're on blue side. Their draft was great. This is not a drafting issue.
No, it's a play issue, for sure.
They're taking another look here. It looks a little scary initially because they do go in, but the equalizer just doesn't quite get enough damage down. And Humbug, despite being Zinzao, still just kind of dies. Watch this. Anvil, no! But it's fine. It's not the end of the world. And you take that trade, right? Doesn't really matter that much. Sponge got his stacks, got his kills anyway.
Yeah.
Level 11. Look, his ult's available up again.
Yeah, I mean, an Nocturne that gets the ball rolling is, it feels very win more, you know? You can be kind of everywhere. You get longer range on your ult. You are more fed. You've got a strike breaker, so you can kind of just go for whatever target's out of position. It's like, when a team's behind, they don't have a lot of vision control, but when you're behind and also against a Nocturne, you never have any vision control because you're always at threat. It's hard to put down wards. You can't do much. And by the way, it's an Infernal Soul, so DRX are just getting this for free, and there's absolutely nothing that Bro can do about it. They didn't even get the Rift Herald, by the way. They're like, nah, we just wanted to bait you into a fight. They could get
What
it
about
soon.
DNF being pumpkin spice? I feel like that's kind of fallen off.
Yeah, I think some people still drink it.
No, it's still there.
Yeah.
But if you compare it to, I feel like 10 years ago, the hype was
That's
sky high.
I think that's fair. That makes sense
Yeah?
to me.
Well, there we go.
We don't have a better one either, so.
No, I've been giving it a lot of thought as well.
I can tell.
There you go.
Very invested.
Especially the matcha one I'm really happy with because it's also like, it's just good vibes, you know? It's nice, it's
Yeah.
green tea. And then Humble Life, it's just good
What
vibes.
if you like the team, but you don't like the drink that represents them? Like me. I like Life Esports, but I don't like matcha.
Well, you could just make up a different one. That's also fun. This is not a exhaust. This is our
Maybe
list.
Life can be pumpkin spice because they're orange. Maybe they're orange juice. Well, that was interesting. UCal just going to flash away from that, and now Sponge is against 3 people, but doesn't seem to care. Will he care? Yes, he will eventually, but now we've got Rich here, and he will finish off everybody as Jin ults in onto UCal. So that's going to be a big one for Hype to pick up, but Rich still picked up a triple kill on the bottom side of the map. Very messy fight. DRX still ahead.
Still big win for DRX, right? You get the 3 for 2. Rich gets the push. You get to take control of this. Okay, I was about to say LazyField. Is he actually going to be able to? He's not. Picking towards Otacon. Oh, DRX. DRX. There was one lesson that we keep learning.
I mean, KT did it. Why can't DRX?
True. Take another look. Clearly not ready for the amount of people. Nice flash there by Yuka to set it off. Then Sponge, actually really well done, gets the spell shield specifically on Polu's ultimate, but there's 4 people there, so obviously he does die. And then even with Hype setting up shop, Rich does just kind of take everyone down as, yep, this is just gone. So good call from LazyField. Perfect KDA still, by the way.
Yeah. Meanwhile, UCal part of every single kill in this one. 12
That's
for 12.
kind of insane.
Yeah. Sponge, 11 for 12.
Yes.
Those 2 have been part of almost everything.
Maybe Humbug and Sponge are just the same player, and whoever gets the early lead just does this. Like
Yeah,
that kind of,
they're kind of similar.
right? I do think Humbug has been consistently hitting higher highs, but
Yeah.
in terms of playstyle, it does feel somewhat of a crossover there.
All right, we're ulting again, this time onto a Xin Zhao, who is alone in the top lane, gonna get feared up, and here comes the wall as well. Not much that Humba can do except flash and try to get away, but the knockup comes in, and UCal is eating turret shots, but he's got the voracious Otacon. Should be going down, and so will Sponge. Closer collecting a lot of gold. Andil, nice setup there. But, yeah, just getting a couple of kills here is DRX. They will lose their buff, but just trying to get some value out of it.
Hey, that's fine. If that plays end up working out and Bro is a little slow in the response on the other end of the map, then you can get an inner there. Instead, you try 2 for 0. Obviously, it's more like 2 for 1 with the money that goes over. Is it actually... Oh, that's really funny. It's actually just the little ghosts and then the Scryer. Sponge makes sure that he gets the fear off, but Humbug obviously stays alive for a good amount of time thanks to his ultimate. And then here, Closer sweeps both of them up. Sponge actually kind of weird. Gets pushed against the wall, goes back in, but still ends up dying. And then Rich just walks in and says, kills? For me? Nice. Swoops it up.
That's kind of been what he's been up to this game. He's kind of just jumping in when he would like to pick up kills. We do have a pause. Don't really know what this is about. Maybe something happened in the last fight that they want to get figured out.
Maybe they're not happy with their drink choices we gave.
Yeah. What are you brewing right now? Just water?
Yeah, water.
Yeah, me too.
It's water. It's water.
drinkers.
Water or coffee. Some tea.
Yeah, that's usually me too. Sometimes I go for the 0-calorie sodas.
Ooh.
LazyField is having some display issues. Maybe it's his glasses. They're a little bit fogged up.
Tense situation.
I don't... A display issue. It's been a while for that.
This music reminds me
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
of when you're like loading in. Oh no, when you're like loading into a game and it goes like the tip.
Is that your final answer?
Oh yeah, that's way better. Yeah, yours is better. I take it back.
Oh, I don't know, Regis. It's for 500,000. I'm not sure. Well, it looks like Hambak's brother. It actually does look like Hambak. So
I can
there
see
you
it.
go.
Coming to check out the bros. This first game, not done just yet, but not looking great.
This music is getting
It
pretty hype.
also reminds me of a Phoenix Wright investigate or like a testimony. When they're doing a testimony for the first time, you're like looking for the mistakes. Like, I wonder.
Yeah.
What angle
It's a
are they gonna
very
take?
like curious kind of
I like
song. It's like it sparks curiosity. Like, what's going on?
It builds tension. Yeah, Jason is saying newsroom, also like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, and now for breaking news.
Yeah, great at that. Newscaster
I mean,
Brendan Valdez.
We are play-by-play casters.
Yeah, I don't think I
let's.
could.
So.
Oh yeah, wait. Can you do it sports style? Let's go over to the field.
Yeah.
Or standing by.
All right, now we're here in the downtime and we have a segment prepared for you guys. Let's check in down on the field. We've got Degon standing by. Hello, Degon. How's it going down there? How's the vibes with the bros at the moment?
Yeah, thanks, guys. The bros are brewing. They are definitely brewing, but not quite exactly going how it planned. Earlier, I did say I do hope the bros win, but I hope that LazyFeel is doing well. I think LazyFeel is taking the second part a little bit too seriously right now. He has not died yet, done really good. So I hope that the bros are able to do it. All we can say is, folks at home, time to pay your bro tax. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Degon. We'll take it from here. And that was Degon standing by with the bros as they are feeling pretty good.
I was
pretty good.
really wondering. Yeah, have those taxes been paid? Because so far, I'm not seeing it. And I know bro fans.
It's a clear lack of interest
Wins
right now.
don't matter, right? They got their win against T1. Bro fans, they could not get a win for the rest of the season. You think they would care? No.
No.
They wouldn't.
They already fulfilled their purpose.
They've already done what they needed to. But it would still be nice. DRX, still 20 seconds on Otacon.
Yeah.
Looking, which we haven't discussed because we've really been quite distracted. Take full responsibility for that.
Wonder why.
We are 20 seconds of an Infernal Soul, and I feel like
Yes.
for the DRX comp, that's pretty good.
Closer? Okay, well, we're just going. Okay.
I think that was an oopsie.
Yeah, you know, I think I agree with you. Yeah. After considering it for quite a while there, I think.
Oh, you can't just give well, we cannot give.
Are they just going to give Infernal Soul away?
We cannot. Okay, they know.
They
It's
know,
fine,
but like
it's fine.
now there's a wall and there's a Callista on the enemy team. I think it's just, yeah, it's just gone. They're just giving it away.
That's it.
They just gave away an Infernal Soul. Sponge is still going to go in. I mean, he's got Infernal Soul, so why not? They're still so far ahead. Bro, you're brewing for too long. Take the teabag out. It's time. It's time to drink the drink. Instead, they're just losing. Hambak's got his ult, so at least he'll live. Rich flashing in. Oh, and the burst. The Infernal Soul doing some work. And does the game just end here?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, the Q comes in. The barrier is not enough. Zukal puts an end to that noise.
Rich, I apologize. I'm sorry, buddy. My bad. I didn't believe in the faker of HOTS. I should have.
You weren't familiar with this game.
I was not familiar with his game. I saw him locking. Now, was most of his last hitting? Yes, but who cares? Great game from Rich. Great game from DRX.
All right, flash on in. Big ult from the support, but it's not going to matter. They just get burnt to a crisp. And down they go. And there's still 8 seconds. I think that's enough. They're just autoing this down. The attack speed comes in from LazyFeel, and yeah, that'll do it. 24.5 minutes. As down goes the Nexus. DRX, a very one-sided victory to them.
And LazyFeel might not have been the main character in that one, but still a perfect KDA in his debut game here at the LCK. But it was all about the mid and jungle. Yukal and Sponge got an early lead, never let them play the game. At any point, even Ondil, I think, having a great showing. The Alistar actually working up quite nicely. And the team fighting from DRX looking miles back. And this is DRX we saw a lot of. Yukal giving Sponge some confidence, giving him old shoulder pad. It's a big win for the Bros. I think understandably that wasn't particularly close, and this is supposed to be one of the matches where they were the favorites.
Yeah. Maybe they're not used to it.
25 minutes, not even, right? And no one would have been surprised if you at the top of the day told the DRX was going to win, but I would expect it to be a back and forth. I wouldn't expect it to just be kind of a one-sided beatdown, and that's what it was, Valdez.
Well, that was game 1, and we'll see if Bro can wake up with some sort of extra tea to help them out. But at the moment, it's not quite working out, and DRX are looking clean. Maybe the cleanest we've seen since the LCK Cup. Guys, we'll take a break and have the space. We'll be right back.
아 근데 노체일이 있긴 하다. 근데 이거 럼블에 궁풀이 다 없어. 럼블 궁풀 다 없어. 럼블 박아줘. 형 TV 뭐 있어 야. 럼블 박아줘. 내가 박을게. 럼블 풀은? 풀어. 럼블. 잡자. 끝내봐. 형님들 끝나. 저 맞자. 끝내봐. 자 이거. 아 이게. 오자. 나 버스야? 아 오케이 레이디 삐루. 나 버스야? 가볼까. 잘했어.
Number 1 didn't happen because game number 1 was a disaster for Bro. I think our space did a good job of highlighting just how wrong it went and all the different levels. And for DRX, it was very straightforward. You know, you just kind of press your button to engage, and from ahead against a team that are kind of just walking about, you're going to enjoy yourself. So let's see if game number 2 looks any different. We do have the Poppy ban. It was banned in game 1, but that was in the second phase. But a higher priority on it here as we change up our bans in the second game with all the new bans from Fearless.
Wonder what the outcome is going to be. Do think that we have seen DRX is very, very clearly a team that when they're ahead are doing well, as I've been told directly by Oaks that no, we were just wrong.
So Varus really left up.
Well, it's already and there's no Callista, which has been kind of the handshake. Could see what, like Ash Renata, I want to say, but Nico's still open. Seen that matchup really be a struggle. So maybe you'll let them have Varus Renata, but that kind of feels bad. Yeah, Ash Nico's fine though.
Just pick Renekton. When in doubt, and you accidentally gave up Varus, you just pick Renekton.
Yeah, take it away from Morgan. I think it makes sense. He is the Renekton guy.
I think in game 3, maybe this would make sense. I think for a game 2, picking Renekton here on red side, I'm not a big fan of.
So you can also, so now they can't pick Skarner, they can't pick Mbessa. I don't hate it. I can see the lines.
You play Sion.
I think you still kind of get bullied.
You're not enjoying the Lilia very much, but
I do like that.
Okay. Or maybe play Ornn. Wukong gonna come through with the Ahri, which, you know, if Wukong's hovered first, you almost assume the Ahri comes next.
I do think you just slam Ezreal here. and then you're just kind of fine. No, that's no, no, lazy feel. I know the combo's cool. No.
What about the combo, Chronicler?
But you're playing into Ari Wukong.
Yeah, but about that combo.
About that combo.
Yeah, about that combo.
I can't though. Like, how often are you going to be able, as MF, to actually channel no? Well, I gotta count, but I don't
if
think
your
it'll be
team
a lot.
engages, maybe.
Maybe. You know, Lazy Feel, you did 9 game 1. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust your judgment. You do have a lot more agency in the lane with the MF than you have with the alternative, which would have been the Ezreal. Obviously, you do have to pick it up there, otherwise it's definitely gonna get banned away.
Yeah. It's this final ban here. Banning away mid laners from UCal on the side of Bro, but banning away supports on the side of DRX. But they didn't ban Renata Glass. They just take away Rakan and Nico, which has really shot up in terms of those support tier list rankings. Corky.
So then they pick Renata here? No, Renata isn't real. Okay. Well, we are picking... What? Paulu, Renata is real! I'm telling you! They banned Nico! They're playing a full short-range comp, with the exception of MF.
Well, maybe Paulu's just not that confident on it. There's the Scion. And that's going to be the choice. So you're Renekton first pick. I do wonder how much mileage you're going to get out of it. I mean, it's frontline, it's stun, it's lockdown. Definitely good follow-up and good frontline for the MF. But what is this support going to be? Looks like a Braum.
I don't hate the Braum. It does make sense with the Varus. This is going to be then most likely the on-hit variety. And you are also playing it into the Braum specifically into the MF, where obviously you can block a lot. I was pretty hesitant last time we saw the Ryze come out. I think it wasn't that also Ryze and Lilia? I'm not sure. I feel like it was Ryze.
Sure.
I think it was Ryze and Victor. But that was fine. And
Are you talking about for Keen and top lane last series?
No, because that was with that wasn't with.
That was with Victor.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But not with Lilia.
Yeah. But I do think that what we have here, maybe I guess it was on the other side. Doesn't really matter. Suffice it to say, I think DRX are still pretty happy with what they have. I think they have a strong 2v2 in top jungle, something that they can play towards if we see Morgan still struggle with the matchup.
First round, last match. We're looking for the Brion win.
That's a pretty scary SpongeBob. It frightens me a bit.
It's like his head is almost too big.
It's the eyes.
And the eyes are
It's
very...
the eyes.
Yeah.
The other SpongeBob, though, he's dripped out. He's gaming.
I think it just has sponge on the back. Wait, what is... Where's this shark coming out of? Dralaleo, dralala.
Yeah.
Isn't it a T?
No, because it's DRX.
Whoa. Very clever.
No, yeah. I feel like that one was pretty obvious.
All right, well, let's see how this goes. Game number 2 on the cards, same sides.
미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Here we go, game number 2. And already Ondil has taken some damage.
Worrying trend for the Rel.
We very much expected Bro to come in and take this victory.
I was on the fence.
Well, let's
I
take
know
a
they-
look at Chronicler's prediction.
Well, I predicted Bro. That's fine.
Yeah, so the
I mean,
expectation from you was that Bro were going to come in and take the victory.
Well, yeah, but I think the way that you said it, Veldas, matters. And you made it sound like we were very confident.
Now, there is one guy, Wadid, who knew
He was a DRXer.
that DRX.
Well, let's not... I still could see Bro win. I think last game was really between both these two teams. I think whoever gets out early just wins. I don't think either team has comeback potential.
For me, it's really just the way that Bro played out. All 24.5 minutes of that game, that was worrying for me. I think that they just were kind of asleep. And they didn't show that Bro fighting that we're used to. So I'm a bit worried about that. Now, if they can turn it around and they look much better here, then it'll be a different story.
Walk, walk.
Yes, but grasp stack. And Sion does not care.
Not bad. That's my favorite. If you don't know the meme, that's Noguri at some point explaining why the Renekton prio is so high.
Yeah.
And it's Camille, and Camille, he's just drawing in paint, and it's just Camille 0-3, and Renekton going walk, walk, which is the sound of his W. Which makes sense. That did happen.
Was he just trying to say that he wins lane?
I think he was just trying to say that, yes, Renekton will just dunk on Camille.
Generally true, yes.
Yeah. Well, eventually you don't.
Yeah.
But for a really long time.
For quite a long time.
If you fall behind, though, it is kind of...
Yeah. Also,
It's
with
kind of over.
with the early lead that you have, you can generally extend your winning lane for even longer. So it just gives you a lot of prio, gives you a lot of potential to make plays happen, to be proactive, to win the game of your own accord, which is what we like to see. Oftentimes we show a lot of criticism towards teams that just kind of sit around and lose. I feel like Bro weren't necessarily doing that in game one. I feel like they were out of their chair and losing. You know, they weren't just sitting around. They were actively taking fights that weren't exactly good.
Yeah, we weren't seeing the Bro magic. That's what you're... That's
the bromance.
And, yeah, I'm with you. Didn't see anything Bro up, except I guess their own Nexus. I don't know if Morgan's really diveable, but they might just want to threaten, force a bit of a response. I think Sponge making the right call. If you have anything that can reset turret aggro, I think maybe you can go for that, but how about here?
We'll dive in the bottom lane on a lazy field. A little bit of bullying as the aggro is taken here by the Braum, and Palu is just going to die. There he goes, first blood over to DRX, as now a kill is traded back, and Hype has to flash away. They did deny a decent amount of farm from Lazy Field in the bottom lane. Looks like maybe even more of that on the way. But they didn't get first blood. And also Hype is down a flash.
Can keep canceling the back though. We'll see how much Hype actually ends up being up when all is said and done. I'm also not sure what the wave state is. Looks like it is pushing back into him, but maybe Lazy Field can... Yeah, that is that's another full wave gone. So successful dive for Breon. Still, I feel like we didn't have to. Maybe we could have played that slower and just denied his Yukel, showing why movement speed is the best stat in the game. The good old walk strategy.
Yeah, he was walking in a straight line.
He walked into the queue. It's fine. I'm kind of... So we have Apollo starts off, stacking the passive, and then I think Arndale doesn't actually connect onto the with the Q, because if he is able to get a little bit more done with that, they might lose 2 people instead of 1. I think DRX actually, or Bro rather, got kind of locked out with that one. Could have been a lot worse. And now that we have seen the next crash come in, still a lead for Hype. But interestingly enough, Lazyfield actually up in experience. So down in gold, but up in XP because of how that whole situation played out and the cancel from Arndale.
Hype missed a lot of waves that were just dying to the pushing wave of Bro as he was trying to back. So yeah, they denied some of those waves to Lazyfield, but he caught a little bit towards the end. So feeling pretty good about that. The gold is not a huge difference maker at this point in the game. But DRX still ahead on that gold, funnily enough.
We will know after the first skirmish how this game is going to go, is my feeling. Because both these compositions, even more so the Breon one, if your early skirmishes with the Ahri comp don't really go well, like I think the comp actually scales fine in team fights because you have Onit Varus, you have great front line with Braum and Sion, and you have a Wukong as well. But just with how that first game went, I'd be a little worried. Is Yukel going to just blitz in? He is on the ward. Might be in trouble here.
I mean, the charm has to land. It's not going to land. He just runs in a straight line with Phase Rush and says, well, see you later, nerds.
Walk, walk.
Yep. That also happened. Meanwhile, Morgan just farming Grasp. All three grubs did go over to Sponge and the DRX guys.
Sponge had a back in him. I think he could just base, but Rich is getting further and further ahead. And I know it's not a problem yet, but he is going to, I hope, get an early cleaver. And then Sponge is going to get Leandries.
What about Yomu's Ghostblade? Or no,
He has a
Edge of Night.
Oh god. Well, it's fine. He won't do that.
Zeus build.
Oh yeah. What was
Warden's Mail and Hex Drinker.
Ghost?
Edge of Night.
in.
Yeah, Hammock pretty deep in here, and he's getting quite low. The sleep comes down, and that's a free kill onto the enemy jungler. And now this Lilia just running around Lazy Feel. Yes, he's pretty low. They take him out, and so will Andil go down. And Sponge just hops away. Doesn't want any of it. Felt like he could have stuck around, but not gonna happen. Palu does also live, and Bro somehow turned that into a winning fight.
Gonna have to see a replay for that one. Is Rich, you need to be careful. If Morgan, I actually think he had a kill window there. Because you can go for the ult and then go for the Q combo, and I think you just, with shield pop and wraps, you just kill him. You do lose if he gets the ult, but I think it was an angle there for Morgan. I don't know what happened there. That looked so rough for Breon, and then it was fine. So maybe it was just because Sponge exited the fight a little early. So looks good here. Engage comes through. They're ready for the fight, right? So a lot of damage on the Humbug. They're actually able to burst him. Yuko, I like this, doesn't take the Realm Warp because, you know, he can just get on top of there. And then here, it's Hype getting the resets, which is rough. But so I understand where Sponge is coming from. I think it's fine. He doesn't have that much mana. If he gets hit by the passive, he also dies.
Yeah,
but he would have gone
at the moment.
He is. He would have gone Polo as well, but I don't think you'll take that trade. The downside is that Hype is now big, and we have aforementioned already stated that whichever team gets ahead early is probably going to win. I'll see if that's actually true or not. But so far, Brofen's feeling better. So maybe I feel like Degon's right now with a light thumbs up. That's kind of the
light thumbs up.
And not I don't think we're there yet.
Is that like slightly angled, or is it like the thumb isn't fully up?
No, it's like
yeah, so slightly angled.
Yeah,
right?
Slightly angled.
Yeah.
It
makes sense.
It's not down. It's not halfway, but it's not. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Hype
sense.
Does also have to play Varus, but his setup is really good, right? You have so much backline threat with your Wukong and your Vi, and you have double frontliners to just stand in front of you and be a beefcake.
Yeah, I think you're totally fine this Hype in this game. I think you should very much enjoy it. And
well, there is
see
a
if you
crocodile.
can carry it.
The crocodile and the blue man are a problem.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, you know, there should be a lot of space made by the team.
It's creating space.
Yeah, creating space. Zoning ults that can be utilized. Oh, we actually have the Roa Ahri build coming back here for closer. Not the Malignance.
I don't love that. I feel
it's
like
gonna be a lot tankier.
Maybe it's because, yeah, the interaction specifically got nerfed, right? And I get it because it's kind of the, if he has Roa and I don't, I'm going to be down a level, which will suck. But you are also the sole AP source. If you go just damage Ahri, you will just one-tap people in Charm. Might not think he needs it necessarily. As a TP comes in.
This is actually closer TPing up here.
Yeah, makes his way over. Roa done. Interesting, Valdez.
Yeah, this is a
very different game.
Interesting game brewing up here. Bro, certainly they have the lead, and they could just run away with it if DRX don't get back on the horse. But a lot of the gold is just on the one guy. Yes, we do have a kill for closer, but you see that Yukal isn't that far behind, only about 200 gold. He's farming very well. Looks like he should be able to get a plate here. So absolutely still in the running, even though he doesn't have the kill that closer does. Palu trying to steal a big raptor, but that's against a jungler. And closer is just bullying Rich in this matchup.
Yeah, Yuka doesn't have the damage to actually cut through Morgan. And Rich obviously doesn't get to actually get close against closer, so not the nice matchup, and they swap back. Do like this. You see UCal just for a second there show up in mid lane. Saying hello. Before he orbs his way to top, there's the Cleaver. Love to see it. Cleaver and Leander is now done for Rich and Sponge.
All right, Edge of Night next.
No. No, I know, even in solo queue, it's always playing, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, he's committed to that.
It wasn't a one-time thing.
No.
It was like, no, I think this build is good.
It's Ghostblade, Ghostblade Shojin Surildas.
That's
the core. He is fast, and he does one-tap people.
But that's not what he built in that game. He built an Edge of Night.
Yeah, I think he built Cyrilus 4. But he did build it.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And then he built Hex Drinker and Warden's Mail.
Yeah.
More survivability, just like the Edge of Night.
Yeah.
Could have built the Cleaver. You were talking about movement speed. We have a Cloud Soul coming in here. Each team get a Drake apiece. We're very much in Bro and Brew territory. We're just hanging out, you know.
Well, clearly we didn't do a good enough job according to our spacers, so I hope that they can provide us with their own list. That's exhaustive. Oh yeah, I saw that. So Jason said Yoruba mate tea. Mate is, I want to say, South American tea that you drink out of like a tiny, I don't even know what the correct, I know there's a specific term for it, but I can't think of it right now. But it has like its own specific cup, and it's very thoroughly brewed. Is Lazyfield going to cleanse?
Yeah, he cleanses, nearly dies anyway. So he's going to have to back away, gets 1 CS. But now his presence is really not felt. The Varus, I mean, should not get close to the Varus with how fed he is at this point in time. But at least he got his BT just on time after that. So next time he'll have a shield and he'll be able to heal up some of the damage that he took.
Oh yeah, it's called a gourd. There you go. Thank you, G-Sun.
There you go. I don't know what that is, but sounds cool.
Yeah.
Looking to dive through Cal? Nope, not gonna happen.
It is Rise.
We're just hanging out.
It's Bro and Brewing.
Closer has been very good with his charms. He's been good.
I like it. We just hope that Bro don't take the edge off too much, you know? I don't want them to think that this is one... Oh yeah, fellas can see a picture of it. I hope that... Yeah, it's cool, right? That this isn't one of those games where Bro just brew a little bit too much and all of a sudden they're down 2 Drakes and they're like, how did this happen?
They got lulled into a false sense of security.
Well, they skill really well, but I prefer that comp, but I don't think you auto-win, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I kind of get the
I like their comp more, but at any point, if anyone on Bro oversteps that isn't Braum, and even Braum without his E will die.
Just engaging on a Hambach here. That is a very nice Magnus Storm, but it's only UCal doing damage. Now Hambach's going to go in, followed up by Closer. Meanwhile, we got Sponge just dying on the bottom side, and eventually Ando goes down as well. They never really had any business taking this fight in the first place, as maybe they get Hambach. No, they do not. And he even gets a double kill on the back of it. It's 4 for Bro and 0 for DRX.
No more brewing! We are drinking, and DRX wasn't ready for the drink to be served. That was a blowout. That
you were
fight
so right about the team that gets ahead just wins.
Yes, because both teams will just go in. Why are we engaging onto Wukong? I do not know. I also...
And Braum?
Yeah, and then unfortunately Sponge like goes in. Watch how quickly he dies. Good up from Apollo, and then the ultimate from Lazyfield wouldn't have made a difference, but I think he could have maybe killed Hyde. And then UCal, just a little more damage, and he gets a double. Clean flash from Hambach. Resets for Closer, and we knew, Veldas, that this was going to be a free gamer.
It's a Rise with Rod of Ages with like 2 stacks.
Yeah.
And they're forcing a fight into Wukong Braum.
Yeah.
No protection for their MF.
No.
After Sponge just kind of goes in, dies, doesn't even flash.
Yeah. I don't see your point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, did Bro do it better or did DRX?
Well, DRX is not giving up.
And neither did Bro. We're gonna try to fight for this one. They do have the smite good for the side of Bro. Big engage for Ondil, but now the Scion comes in. Taking some peel, but the Croc is going crazy in the back line. They pick up one, but Closer lives on such a low amount of HP. That's how we got UCal. He's just diving the turret by himself, 1v3. And he gets 852 gold for it.
Okay. Okay, DRX. Clearly not
angry.
done. They're getting angry. That's, what, a 3 for 2? 3 for 3? But you get shutdowns, so it's worth. That play from UCal, that's something else. All right, let's take another look. I think Bro could have just let this go, but instead they go very aggressive, and then Under with a great engage. I want you to watch the amount of damage that Rich does here, as well as the fact that Sponge does actually get his
Four-man sleep. Yeah.
Four-man sleep, kind of crazy. And I want to hear the comms.
적의 도전 마법사 제압되었습니다.
Wow, he's just locked in.
Wow.
If he hits the Q on Closer, I think Closer also dies by it. I don't know. He does have Roa and Merc, so maybe not. But maybe the 1Q could have been enough. Imagine if he picks up the double shutdown. Would have been crazy. Still, I'm Roa fan in this game. But that's how it starts, Valdez. It's just one fight, and then all of a sudden you lose another.
I mean, DRX were kind of out of the game, it felt like, after the, not the last fight, but the one before it in their own jungle. But now it feels like anything can happen. Especially when they demonstrate, like, hey, this is how we're going to win fights. You know, they layered everything. I think that Bro really got caught in a rough spot where, as you mentioned, they, like, pushed in for the Rift Herald. And that just meant that they all had to go through the one corridor to escape. And rather than escape, they all just ended up grouping up for a Rel and an MF and a giant crocodile. Not to mention the Lilia with the four-man sleep.
The Crocodilian is a problem, as I say that. Morgan is not too impressed.
Yeah, still Scion.
Yeah, exactly. He has 850 extra health. Sunfire getting towards his second item also has the... I can't even think of the name. The chest plate that gives you Grievous Wounds.
The chest plate.
Well, that's not what it's called. I should know this name. I've known this. I've said this a million times.
The chest plate of Grievous Wounds.
That's not...
That's what it does.
Well, that's not
if I say that, people know what it is.
Built into 4 mil.
Grievous chest plate.
Wow, how am I blanking on this? Anyone knows. Everyone
starts with the B.
Everyone in chat would never, ever make this mistake. But you know what it is.
Starts with the B. The next letter is R. Kind of like my name.
That's Brendan.
Yeah.
All I can think of is Brendan. Bramblevel. There you go.
Yeah, had to spell it out, but now Hype in a really rough spot as the Rel TP's in, and down he goes. Hype, the one guy who was really fed on the team, and now he's died twice in a row. Here comes the Croc as well. Big peel coming out from the Wukong, but still, Palu's going to go down. And DRX are just being more proactive, even from behind. UCal is running the ship.
I got lulled into a false sense of security because the whole Bramblevest situation.
Just like Bro.
Just like Bro. Hype just... I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried, Valdez. I made some very strong statements regarding whoever gets ahead wins, and yet here I am, watching DRX.
Proving us wrong.
They really might. Blue Man group now also showing up in top. Clearing the wave. Lazyfield, please be careful. Looks like he is okay.
Yeah. That's a big catch-up mechanic as well, just getting all the pedals.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all the levels. It really, everything just kind of gets shored up in a big way. Like, Closer's up 2, but UCal's about to hit 14, and he has Rod not fully charged. So
I want to take another look at this. What happened? So it's Sponge that gets the tag.
Bowling ball.
And then the bowling ball. And then the immediate ult from UCal and Ondil. Actually just set up by Sponge. And then it's not the bowling ball that knocks down the pins, but it's Rise showing up with his buddy.
It's Rise's shiny head.
Yeah.
Because he's bald.
Because he's bald.
Yeah. Looks like a bowling ball. I like it.
Oh, ball. Ah, that's good.
Yeah.
You know what I love?
Lazy Feel is ahead on levels.
Yeah, because he has 46 plants.
It's a lot of plants.
I don't know how many Bro have, but I don't think it's close.
How many plants do you have?
5?
Wait, why do you have so many plants?
That's not many plants. Double digits is
one.
plant.
I have one.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that we have one.
Yeah, I am surprised you have one. I don't think 5 plants is that many. 12 is the case for Bro. So that's double digits. I think in League it's not a lot. I think in real life, 12 plants, even then. Oh, people whose entire apartments are basically just plants. It's nice.
You don't need to live that way.
It's what? No, it's soothing.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you could just, you know, go outside as
Not
well.
the same. You know, there's actually a lot of plants that have like air purifying capabilities. It's nice. It's good.
I have an
They're
air
fun to take care
purifier.
of. Well, yeah. But you could have a plant do that.
I could, but I'd rather not. I don't need the plant.
Well, the plant doesn't make.
I'm not about the plants, Chronicler. You know this. Especially the ones in League of Legends.
Yeah, no. Oh, that's. Sorry, I forgot I was talking.
The petals.
Second hint.
The petals are good.
The petals are.
Petals are good. They create action.
We like
what we
petals.
like.
So Bro are still 3K gold up, but it doesn't. You know, it's one of those games where you don't really feel it.
The majority of the gold lead is 2,000 ahead for hype. If he just dies at the beginning of every fight, do they really have a gold lead?
That's what I was saying earlier. I do think that Bro comp skills better, but it's not a given if people just woke up and kind of die.
Yeah, Morgan has taken that to heart. He says, I'm going to walk up and
Why are we
die.
trying to save him?
And we're trying to save him.
Just let him die.
Here we go. All right, big engage though. They're going to get on Dill, but they're running straight into an MF ults. As Big Sleep coming in, going to hit the 2 frontliners only though. Spun's trying to get away. Yukal wants to do the DPS. He's got a big shield. And the Croc finally shows up at the exact right time. Bro, you were lulled in between a rock and a hard place. And now the chase here. Will they get Palu? I think eventually they do.
Why are we trying? Just let him die. You could give up the dragon.
I think we need a Degon cam for this one.
No, don't do it.
5 for 0.
Don't do it too. No, Ando died, but like it doesn't. It's a fight. It doesn't matter. Look, imagine what happened. Just let him die. He dies. Who cares? You give up Drake. It doesn't matter. Your team fight's amazing. Why are we trying to salvage this? Look, Lazy Field. And this is with a bad TP from Rich.
Yeah, look at how far away he is. Yeah.
He's nowhere near. He could have TP'd on the control one right there in the brush.
And he finally gets here, and everybody has like 3 health. DRX won this fight without the Croc.
나이스!
Nice eye.
And he was the only one that died. And guess what? Giving up that one Drake doesn't matter for the game at all. It's a second Drake. No one cares. Losing that fight, 5 for 1. Yukel's getting death cap soon. I'm shooting up into the sky when it comes to the voice. I'm exasperated, Valdez. I wanted to
Flash over the wall.
Yeah. Well, they kind of did.
Yeah, they did figuratively flash over the wall there. I think that Bro went a bit too far. I think that they were like, we're ahead, right?
That's a great understatement, Valdez.
We should fight anytime we get an opportunity. And Sion's not that important, right? All right, nice charm here, but immediate cleanse comes in, but the chains, and now the counter engage here from Ondil, just trying to create space. I think Lazy Feel was fine, but Ondil just gonna go down.
That does feel a little unnecessary, because I think Lazy Field was indeed fine, so it Flash as well. So they're gonna try, okay, Yukal does have TP, I'm like, ooh. They're gonna try and get Yukal's TP. Yukal just wants to get this turret, but yeah, I think he has to show up here. This is still risky. Sponge, crucially, does not have the Flash available.
Just got to join the fight, and it's just going to be an ult from Lazy Feel. It doesn't really hit the pit, but catches the guys that are running. The smite is good. Pretty simple there. And now a 4v5, but Lazy Feel's not in the fight. It's actually a 3v5 as Lazy Feel tries to get over, but can't. Down will go the Croc, and Yukal and his buddy are just going to TP away. And it's just the 1 kill. And the Baron, and more importantly here for Bro.
Could have been worse for DRX. We're very close to losing multiple members there, but still, really big win for Breon. They are clearly not letting the pressure get to them. I say after that earlier bot side play, that still scared me. Lazy Feel, obviously very fast, gets the cleanse, and here, I think Ondale was not ready for still the tenacity. Because that play makes sense if you think the MF will die in the chains, but because of the tenacity, he gets to walk it off.
Yeah.
So he was fine. And then they tried to go for the play, but Lazy obviously can't realistically approach. Hype is waiting in the brush, they don't have any control. Definitely an overforce from DRX, and it's just a nice ult from UCal to ensure that. That was close, by the way. Morgan was ulting, or queuing rather. But now, I think Bro are just fine again, because they will get ton here.
Yeah, we're kind of all over the place on the gold difference graph.
I don't really know what's happening, and that's okay.
Well, right now, Bro are ahead. So they're the ones that are winning.
Okay.
I'm glad I could simplify that for you. Closer is level 17. He's about to get his own death cap.
You know Rich reached the patch notes because he went for a build that actually makes him tanky.
That's crazy.
For the extra damage, he's level 16.
Yeah.
That's going to tick like crazy.
It is. It's going to do a lot. It's got a decent amount of bonus AD as well. And
oh, there's IE, that's big.
Yep, IE comes through. But will they save this inhibitor is a question. We have Rich posturing forward, but I think, yeah, just a couple more autos get it done. And that's the bot inhibitor. It's pretty nice for Bro. UCal was able to hold down mid as it was only Morgan here pushing, so...
Yeah, there is still a death cap rise on the enemy team.
Yeah, but
so
about to be death cap Ari as well.
I would rather have the rise. Very confident on that.
Maybe. I think that they're both good, you know? I think that closer, his Ari has been phenomenal.
It has been.
And he's making plays. That's the kind of Ari we like to see. Not just like throwing out a random Q that only hits one direction and then you're just running away with Spirit Rush. He's like going in looking for charms onto vulnerable targets and actually making plays. And if he has Death Cap, yes, he has the Roa build, but now he's actually blowing people up.
How about a fight to fill up the game? Huh?
How about third Cloud Drake fight?
For the game.
For the game. Yeah, it's not quite Challengers, baby.
Not for because for that we need Elder.
Exactly. It's just kind of like Challengers, maybe.
How have I never used that line? That's so good.
Yeah. I mean, if both teams actually flip over a Cloud Drake.
It's also Call Me Maybe, you know? Like something. Oh my God, Valdez.
And this is crazy.
I'm disappointed in myself. As we could also just push. Either team can give up this Drake, but I don't think that's what we're going to do. I don't think that's what we're going to do.
We must flip over this Drake. Now, we have a Realm Orb, which is going to get the Croc into the back line. And a little engage does come in. They try to turn on a Rich, but he is quite tanky. Not tanky enough, though. He gets burnt down. And now DRX are just running away. And the mobility of the Ari comes back in. Does a ton to UCal here, who nearly takes out closer. But instead, it's just going to be DRX that are fallen by the wayside. They couldn't quite let that third Drake go over. It was not allowed. And they made that very clear. But that does mean that they are going to lose the game, as Bro, with this one, will look to push bot and end.
Unseen Croc was not the deadliest. He just died. I'm still very confused as to yeah, they want to deny. I don't think it really matters.
This is like Sponge ults, doesn't even go in range. He might even die. He has to flash. And yeah, I mean, eventually he kills him probably. There you go. But the game is over. So does not matter. Ondo comes back, avoids a charm, but that'll do it. Bro will force a game number 3. And we'll see how that one does pan out.
Yeah, Renekton's beefy, but you can't teleport him into 4 people. He does that doesn't really, he does die if you do that. That must have been a miscommunication because I can't see a world where Rich is like, send me in alone.
Bro.
Love that. A Bro lever here at Low Park.
Yes. Unbelievable.
They did get the one, and of course it's a free gamer. I got all worked up over that team fight at bot. It didn't matter. It's fine.
You should have known.
I should have known.
You were the one who declared it in the first place. Bro get a lead. There was a little hiccup
that
at about 24
scary
minutes.
At all.
They actually lost the gold lead for about a minute. and then they just took it right back. Closer and Hype getting the work done. Hype did get caught a couple of times, but, you know, it's Lilia, it's Rise, it can happen. But they were able to turn it around quite well. Shout out to you, Cal and Lazyfield.
Yeah, his fights were still great. Ton of damage output on the Varus, and you need to in that comp. And we are getting our game 3.
Game 3 on the cards. Cheering for Lord Morgan to see if he can get the job done. We're going to take a break and have the space. We'll be right back.
렐 정면. 야 내가 그냥 다 하는데 이거 나 심해서 볼게. 야 나 반대로 돌게. 기다려봐. 나 위치 좋아. 기다려.
나고 있다.
야 먹자 이거.
그냥 편에 막았고.
천천히. 그럼 국수면 먹어도 돼. 먹으면 볼게 이거. 먹어도 돼. 나 이거 2천에 쓸게.
야 레네가 뒤로 갔다 얘들아. 야 레프터 가자.
렐 볼게. 천천히 자리 잡아.
레프터 빨리지 마. 야 레프 가줄게. 레프 가줄게. 야 앞나 얘들 라이드 붙여.
야 라이드.
밀고 가. 야 앞나 찍어봐 이거. 야 릴리아.
천천히 릴리아 잡아.
잡고 미드 라인.
릴리아부터 가볼래?
야 끊을게. 다 바텀 가. 야 막을게. 다 바텀 가. 내가 지금 끊을게. 다 바텀 가 끝나 이거.
I fought at many points in the last game that I knew, and I just have to accept, and I think we all have to accept, that we just don't know. The only thing that I know holds true is that whoever gets ahead at 14 minutes is gonna win the game. That both games was true. Game 1 was very swift. Game 2 not so swift, but it still held. I saw that teamfight throw and I'm like, it's so donezo. It wasn't. Are we just triple ban? Are we banning a Kali as well? There's triple ban. You know you don't want to play against close as a Kali when you pick Victor, which is what will happen. Just ban it. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's going to be an Ashe instead. There's a lot of stuff available now because it just didn't get banned. You know, Nefiri, Pantheon, Poppy, Jace were all banned in Game 2, but none of those banned here. We do have Nefiri off the cards, but now Jace is available. And we saw that Morgan passed on it when they were playing up against T1, and then Doran passed on it.
Rich should pick it.
Rich should just pick Victor for you, Cal.
Who could have known?
I mean, they know that Morgan isn't going to pick it, right?
Yeah.
They have that
that's
information.
Actually good. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think this is a good call. And then Morgan, he's going to pick Jason. Morgan's going to pick Yorick. That's actually what's going to happen.
Why did Edgar's face just look so... It looked so like...
You know what I would
okay.
love?
Well, he's going to play Ambessa.
Not that. Oh.
He's blinding Ambessa with Jace available. Sejuani does get picked alongside of it, which
I
makes it better.
I had this whole scenario where he's going to let go of the Jace and he's going to slam the Mel fight because you're playing into Victor and Jace and like both those champions. Nope. We're blinding Ambessa. I don't see it. Rich, you have one. Okay, that's good. You can play Poppy top. That's also fine.
That's fine.
Poppy top, we're okay with Jace. I think is even better. Sponge on Poppy and Rich on Jace. I think is better.
Or Ondil on Poppy. This is probably Sponge on Poppy.
Oh, it could be both.
But it's flexible.
We're fine with that. That's the beauty of Poppy. That's why she's kind of broken. She's got the flex at Rich. You got this. There we go.
I like that confident nod. He's like, all right, I'm locked in.
Close or no?
Orianna.
I'm not feeling good about my pro prediction, I'll tell you that. This first rotation is not doing it for me, Veld. We have, okay, so we have a hard losing matchup in top.
I mean, what would you have picked, though, in mid lane?
Akali!
Into Victor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Early laning phase is rough, but okay, for what it's worth, I've seen Zeka do well in that matchup. That is a little bit of cheating. That feels like maybe that's not...
Closer, he is Zeka, just not...
Yeah, he's budget Zeka.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it. I think Orianna's just not in a good spot right now. Now, I do like the idea of Morgan, like actually when I think about that combo is cool, of Morgan ulting in and then Closer does like the shockwave to follow up. That's cool. Will we see that? Or is this like the illustrious Lilia MF combo that never works?
I think it's probably going to be more like that.
It's the second one, right?
The illustrious combo that doesn't work.
The cool combo that casters always talk about and then
yeah,
it doesn't work. And when you see it, it's when the game is already won or lost. And you're like, I don't want to see it now.
Well,
what are we playing in the 80 carry? It's okay. So Lucian's going to get picked up here for hype.
Lucian, let's see what's available.
Well, that's
Ezreal is a very easy ban here. Lucian,
I do think
Aphelios?
No.
Twitch? Play something like a Twitch Lulu or Twitch Yumi or something?
I think it's Lucian here.
Yeah, I think the Lucian is, yeah, that's probably...
Well, you pick support here.
Number one.
Can you pick like, yeah, Rakan? The Rakan's still open, by the way.
Yeah, got banned second phase both games.
Yeah, I kind of like this more because then you can counter pick.
You're still playing it into Poppy though, but
yeah,
I mean, you need some kind of engagement.
But you have Rakan. You have the Rakan with Orianna, I think is a classic combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lazyfield's 100% playing Lucian. That's a no-brainer. So Lucian Nami?
What is Hype playing? Draven?
Maybe.
Elise? Okay. We're not 100% locked into Lucian yet. Lucian Elise.
Well, you can go...
I don't know about that.
You can go Draven. Like, what did they go?
Yeah, I don't mind the Draven, actually.
They can go like Jinx. Like Jinx Rakan trying to play for range.
Caitlyn.
Oh, Lazy Feel.
Caitlyn Elise.
I do think I think this is harder to counter. I think that the downside of Draven is that if you get severely outranged and you don't snowball early, you can really be in big trouble.
I don't think you can pick Caitlyn or Draven here.
No, that's the point. You can't pick Draven.
I'm agreeing, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you.
Jinx?
Agreeing with me. Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Well, so, bro, you better pray this is a bro and brew game. Because your comp does not come online before maybe even free items. And then you have, on the other side, you have Poppy, Jace, Caitlyn, Elise.
Yeah, I mean, you have two winning lanes and one that probably goes even in mid, you know? Just two control mages that are probably just wave clearing. Your bot lane wins, your top lane wins hard.
As of right now, I'm not a bro lever in this draft.
Well, you are a known bro anti,
I am
so it's not that far of a reach.
When did that meme start? Like 2022?
I think it was 2023.
No, I think it was.
I think it was more recent.
It was?
I think so.
Known bro anti.
2023 was a long time ago.
But it's also the bro hype train started. Like it started to come up in 2021, but it wasn't what it is now.
No, yeah, it was different.
It took a long amount of time for them to be as popular as they are. Which
leads to wins.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for DRX, the 2 wins it's an angle. They could do it. I could see it.
I mean, they got blue side. They won draft. It doesn't mean that Bro's draft is unplayable. It just means that, especially the way we've been seeing these games play out, DRX should win early and then win, which is, you know, these teams, they've won early and then they've won in both games. And that's kind of the way it goes. But let's see if that actually pans out in that manner. If Bro can maybe turn around some of the lanes here, where maybe they weren't supposed to win, but maybe they win it here. As we're ready for Game 3, let's hop into the ring.
미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right, game number 3, match 44. For you guys that have been watching the LCK for a long time, you'll know that match 45 is the halfway point. And indeed, tomorrow, after the first match, that is the halfway point of this block of LCK we have before MSI, formerly known as LCK Spring. But now it's just the end of round 1. Then we go on to round 2. And then there's a round 3 and 4 and 5 later on this year. So, going to be pretty cool to get through all of that and to have a full round completed where everybody has played everybody else after tomorrow's first match of T1 versus DNF.
Yeah, there's really not any sizable difference in this first season. It's just kind of the same.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We get to slowly get used to our new format.
Just got lumped in with the rest of LCK. It's not LCK Spring anymore. So if you're confused, it's just all LCK.
I wonder if all the old... So far, you know, we have a lot of superstitions in the LCK. Is, oh my god, he knows.
Sponge. He is trying to sponge all over Humbug.
Uh-oh.
Will it happen?
Well, he hasn't released.
Spotted on the minimap. And in goes Sponge, and out goes Humbug. A little bit of a fight over the Gromp, potentially. Let's see who's got the smite. Goes to Sponge. Just better timing goes to him, and he controls the jungle. It's not like his bottom lane, Humbug's bottom lane, can help at all because it's a losing lane.
Yeah, at least also roaming up. And Humbug needs to be very careful about how he plays this because if Sponge goes in, yeah, I think abandoning is the right call. It's Elise. You have double the buttons. Double Veldas. That's too many.
They've got another champ that also has double the buttons in the top lane. It's crazy how many buttons they have.
Yeah, at least with the Elise, I feel like you're paying the price for it. Oh, no, Sponge. Not the forbidden cross.
No, this is the peanut.
No, he's... Oh, my God. He's studying the VODs.
And especially because mid lane is also winning. You know, I mentioned this before where it's like, yeah, maybe closer can somewhat win, but I think this early on, the Victor just going to push the Orianna in.
I'm 99% sure it talks about Sponge having to watch Peanut VODs to learn how to play from behind. He did the opposite. He clearly watched Peanut VODs of him on Poppy running the game.
I mean, Humbug, buddy, you're not... You can't fight him. You don't have anyone who can help. And Sponge gets to do literally,
and you don't
not figuratively,
have bio lanes
whatever he wants.
You picked Ambessa into Jade. Okay, to be fair, I don't think there's a lot of champions that...
Even worse, they blind picked Ambessa.
Oh, yeah, well, okay, we both know what's going to happen, Valdez. Wait, that was a blind pick. That was a... Oh, my God.
You know, we knew that when we got to Fearless that champion pools would become a factor. I feel like in LCK Cup, we didn't see it too much.
Now we do.
But now we're seeing the most obvious one happen multiple times with Doran and Morgan specifically, where they can't play Jace. Which is weird because Doran has played it a lot.
Oh, and then you have to be able to, like, the only other thing, because I could talk, I talk about the Malphite and the Wukong, but with those you still have the same issue of not having any agency early. Humbug's level 2.
He's level 2. He's trying to get a crab. He can't get a crab. Closer has to flash because Sponge is running through mid lane.
Sponge has not touched a single of it. I guess he took Raptors early on.
Yeah, he level 2.
Well, yeah, you had to, right?
Humbug. No, you're not allowed to play the game. Stop trying to play the game. It's level 4, Sponge. And Humbug has 7 CS. He's got like a camp and a half. Meanwhile, Sponge, double buff, running the Rift because he gets to. Because of the draft. He's playing it well.
Any SpongeBob enjoyers feeling great right now?
I'm a SpongeBob enjoyer.
I know.
I did predict Bro, though, so...
That's fine. Predictions don't matter.
You and I both know that's not how you feel. It's okay.
Did you see the whole tweet? Did you also I forgot if you also commented on that.
No, I just liked it.
Yeah,
I just enjoyed it from afar.
No notes. This is what you need to do with this draft. I am just shocked to see it actually happen from DRX. I'm going to be very... This team is 1-7. How are we executing an early game draft perfectly? How's this happening?
Yeah. Nameplates off.
You're like, this is T1.
I'd be like, yeah, it's like a top team who knows how to do it. Like, oh, that's Peanut, you know? Because we've seen games that look exactly like this from Peanut.
He still hasn't touched his top side.
Yeah.
He's just... Okay, I do think you shouldn't go for Dragon here. I'm going to be real. The good thing is that Andel is clearly playing only the roam. So it's fine, but if at any point Humbug like walks into the jungle, there are like 15 camps waiting for it. This is, yes, that's
Interesting. Wait, but how did the blue jungler take all of the red junglers' camps? Well, you'll just have to watch the first 5 minutes of this game to find out.
I just love it that when we say something like, oh, it should be hard here for Bro because they don't got it online early.
Yeah.
And then you get
It
the most
actually happens.
merciless execution of that concept.
Oh boy, the flash on Encloser doesn't have flash. Yeah, he's just dead, 100%. There's nothing he can do. Imagine getting flash stunned by Victor. That's what he did. And then the Poppy just comes in and takes the free kill. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah,
it must not be in the brush.
I didn't see it when I saw this drop.
Ooh.
But then I was like, you know, how bad can it really be? Because DRX is a team that struggled a lot. I know they look better on the day, but still, this is a draft.
Yeah.
The Victor and Jace Poppy part, I don't think is quite as executioner, but that bot lane is not easy to play, right? Because you need to play very far forward. But as it turns out, if there is no enemy jungler, it's not that. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, what if we just had, you know, two 2v2 lanes?
Look at you, Cal. Dude, look at him. That's such a Chad move! His flashes and W's!
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, in pro play, it seems obvious, but you're tracking flashes, right? So the second that closer flashes, he never gets to step up to a wave because that will happen. And guess what? He stepped up to the wave, and he died. So, you know, you can't just give up entire waves and just give up your lane entirely, but at the same time, you will be punished, and that's what DRX did.
level 4! Okay, he's 5 now.
Well, the thing is, like, DRX, they were very proactive and aggressive in game 1, which is what we liked. And yes, Bro kind of walked into it, sure. But I liked the new look from DRX there. And I think, you know, there's that, but also there was that big post by Sponge, right, where he posted on social media, he's like, trust us, guys, we're going to make a big comeback. We have it in us. We're trying super hard. Please keep supporting us, etc., etc. Maybe that's part of it here, you know, looking to change up their play style, get a bit more aggressive, a bit more confident.
Gotta love a redemption story.
Yeah, because they're looking a lot more confident tonight. Game 2, they almost even came back.
There was a little bit of help with that, but yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, still counts.
Still counts.
You got to start somewhere. You're not going to, you know, take over the entire Rift from your first series back.
I just know that the space is cooking on a time that Sponge has spent in enemy jungle lower third. Like, it's going to be, you know it's there.
17 minutes.
He legit, thus far, he has taken, his own Raptor spawn, like, once, his red buff.
His blue buff now.
And his blue buff, and then outside of that, it's just been neutrals on his enemies, no? Well, it has to be more, because he actually has a good amount of farm.
67 CS.
He is the same as Closer, by the way.
Yep, same as Morgan as well, there for a moment.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for Morgan, because I do think his suffering is self-inflicted with the matchup.
You also didn't have to blind Mbessa there. You could have picked something else.
Well,
they could have not picked
as I was
top lane.
saying, if you can't play Jace, which it's really rough, but so be it, right? Maybe you can't. There's no workaround. You got to be able to at least play actual counters to it.
Yeah.
And I think Anili is the one that we've seen, and I know the burden of execution is high, but that is where you have to look, because you know it's going to get picked up. You know eventually you run out of bans to play it, and Mbessa just doesn't cut it. It just... You're going to be falling behind. You're going to be dropping way more plates. And if the Jace gets ahead, I don't even feel like your side lane matchup is that good.
Yeah. No, maybe like eventually.
I don't want to get too tunneled on the draft, but this is really this is one of those games where I feel like it's warranted.
It's a very obvious one, right? Even the entire early game played out because the draft was the way it was as well. Like, yes, they had to play out their lanes too, but the fact that they had 3 winning lanes and a Poppy in the jungle, like, it's, you know, that's the basics. It's like League of Legends drafting 101. And unfortunately, Bro did not get the memo.
So if they hold on for 25 more minutes,
that is the angle.
We are gaming.
Yeah.
Bro is there. Oh, a trap is being sprung. Or set. I guess it hasn't sprung yet.
I think Rich knows. Yeah.
He's playing very careful. Well, also look at the bot side vision.
Yeah. Like, where could they be? I don't know.
I wonder. Well done by Rich, though. Playing respectful, knowing that... Because every other lane is winning.
Yeah.
He's the only loss condition.
Just don't die.
Just don't die.
This is actually one of those games where it's like, don't die.
Yeah, just don't die.
You don't have to gap the Mbessa. You just have to be a little bit ahead, keep up.
Exist.
The rest of your team will win.
Fire Shock Blast, farm grass stacks.
Yeah.
And chill. Step back. Because they're... Particularly if these objectives are starting to be stacked.
Oh, you said sit back and do nothing, but instead he's going in looking for the all-in.
I do think I think they might have spotted Hambach, and that's why he did that. Yeah, I'm gonna give him the...
I mean, again, you can't wait forever.
Yeah, well, eventually you have to do stuff, as it's Chemtech. That's good for bro fans. It's a green dragon. It's not that big a deal. It's not that good. It's not. We can't even cope with this one. Look at the lack of... Well, I guess Victor has a shield, but like, is that really how far we're reaching?
Yeah, no, it's actually just the worst soul that could have spawned.
It's really good for Morgan.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the angle.
That's it.
That's the angle.
I mean, there's some shields on Bro. I just don't know if they're going to be able to get
Oh yeah,
breaks.
Victor has a shield, and so does Poppy, but...
It's more just that DRX don't really benefit from it at all.
No, they really don't.
Poppy has a shield.
Yeah,
like,
also shield's already harder to kill because it's passive.
Yeah.
Right? Passive on, I think it's W, Staff is present, passive, where you're very tanky when you get low.
Yeah.
Which
you know,
that's not just her normal passive, but...
Yeah. You know the plants, the extra plants that spawn.
Yeah.
They're actually really good for denying extra action.
Which is good for DRX, because they can just choke out. Or for Bro, because they can deny.
I think it's just good for DRX, just to make sure they don't get caught out, you know? You're just scouting your own jungle.
You hate it from a philosophical point of view, though.
I think we'll just kind of sit around until... Like, for DRX, it's good because you can clear vision sometimes, which is something we've talked about in the past. Like, you can clear a lot of vision around the objectives, and so you just begin it, which forces the enemy team to come into the objective, and then an actual fight does begin. Closer, you got to be very careful about how you're approaching that.
Yeah, he has a full item and you don't. I would just chill. That's the angle for Bro. Just sit back. The soul actually doesn't matter. Play for Elder Flip. I'm not. You will have maybe 2 items, ideally 3. You have 3 items on Jinx and Orianna. You're gaming. It's fine.
Well, Morgan's gonna face check into the level 5 Elise, but the level 5 Elise has a lot of friends as he tries to flash over to the disengage cone, and he's gonna die anyway. And now Paulo in a lot of trouble, gets knocked up mid-dash. He's got another one, his Rakan. But yeah, even the Mbessa not able to do anything there.
If Hype got the kill on Undil, that's actually worth. If you start getting this Jinx accelerated, I actually think the game becomes mildly playable for Brion. But he didn't get it. And now they're going to lose the turret. And mid's getting sieged. And... well, that team is ahead at 14 minutes, fellas. We know what it means.
We know what that means. They've had this lead for quite a while. They just find each other.
On the Morgan, trying to get out and then getting sponged.
I'm so glad that the mega disengage cone didn't work.
Undil might have died if not for the level up from the death, actually. I think he would have. That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
That would be really good. Hype gets a kill. Trade 1 for 1. Jinx gets excited, shove out the wave and base. Oh no. That is the murder squad!
Yeah, the murder cone. They're not going to go in on that one, actually, as now an engage here from Morgan onto Rich. Ult available for Hambach, but he just holds on to it. Now we got TPs coming on in, and down will go Morgan again. And Hambach still has his ult. Will he use it is the question. No, he's just going to flash away. And now, Bro, you can't fight. You need to leave. Stop trying to fight. You need to Bro and Brew.
The quick cut to mid. Getting beyond that point now, Valdez. I don't think they can. I think they need Hail Mary. Oh, that's not the one.
Clear.
That's also not the one. Take it away, Valdez.
No, you take it away.
Take it away, Valdez.
Do analysis on whatever just happened. I don't have the answers here.
I think what we're seeing.
We need a bigger brain for this one.
Is DRX. They're back. They're so back, baby. That's my takeaway.
Okay, that's a good takeaway. I like that. It's very positive, optimistic.
Is it time?
I think it's partially true,
Yeah, right.
too. I think the DRX are definitely playing better.
They are. Okay.
Because part of me is like, well, bro definitely
Yes.
had a rough night.
But DRX look cohesive. Their drafts look good. Both games that they won, I think their drafts have been smash hits, right? They're super proactive about making plays. And in game number 2, they weren't that far off a couple of their early plays working out for also having a good position. I think they're actually just kind of back. Unfortunately, I also think the bros are not here. So it kind of coincides.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's kind of happening at the same time.
It's both. It can be both, right? I think the DRX of 2 weeks ago would not have beaten Bro, even if Bro are playing like this.
Yeah. That really does show how far down DRX were in the depths.
It was rough. But in themselves, they found we're so back. That's where we are right now. You know, it's
they
not
found
over.
It is what it is first.
Yeah.
And
so
then they found we're so back.
So first it was it's so over. Then it is what it is.
Yeah.
Then back to it's so over. And now we're so back.
Yeah.
I think this game's cooked.
It is. I think we saw the draft and...
So if every
We knew.
LCK team was a dish, well, I'm joking.
For me, it's a cereal bowl for Bro, for sure. That's my favorite kind of
This
dish.
cereal roll. Oh no.
Yeah. I think, yeah. Why didn't Bro just ban Jace? I wonder. Like game 3, you know? It feels like a very high-level ban. You had to deal with Sponge's Poppy anyway. I'm not really sure if Nafiri is that much more oppressive.
Look at Rich.
And Rich isn't even the main character, but he is part of it.
knows his job.
Zumin is here is just
live.
Yeah.
Just live.
And another disengaged Scryer's Bloom. Anti-action Bloom. There we go. I found a new name for it.
The anti-action bloom.
Yeah. Because, you know, maybe they could look for a dive on him if he didn't have vision. But now he has that, so now he's totally safe.
I do think he knew, because there's currently no response to two of his teammates pushing an inner top. So I'm pretty confident about this, that Rich had an idea.
Well, maybe they just gave up. I don't know. What? Wait. Hold on.
Oh my god, Shelly's a ninja!
She unlocks teleportation.
She learned ninjutsu! She's been watching Naruto! That's cool. Good for you, Shelly.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had to do something exciting in this game. And thankfully, Shelly has got us covered.
You know what my favorite part of this whole situation is? If it wasn't for the one turret, DRX are on pace for a perfect game.
That's
What's
true.
happening?
An actual real one with grubs, right, chatters? I'm still salty. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay, Galvis.
But yeah, 6 grubs is cooler. It's cooler. It's a cooler perfect game. And it's not, because as you mentioned, you know, there was the one turret in bot. Rich, he wanted to hold on to it, but he was smarter. He's like, well, the one way they come back is maybe they kill me in the side lane. And he said, no, I'll just use this anti-action Scryer's Bloom. Very handily placed
Well,
to
just
keep me
let the
alive.
plants go. It's fine.
No, I can't. Hype's like, I don't even know if I can take this big raptor.
Okay, well, the clock is still ticking.
True.
And if Hype hits level 16 in IE, I think it's playable. They're down 6.5k gold, so I don't know how we get there. But I know where the goal is. It's also not been a... I know we're both on the Humbug train. It's not been a great day for Humbug.
Yeah.
Even this Inzao game was not great.
I mean, also this game is... This
game, I don't...
Like,
well,
none of this is his fault.
So, I think that they're... I definitely think you can play it better, but I think it's hard. And it's also...
You have to know ahead of time.
It's mostly the draw. But I do think that this is a great learning opportunity for him, how to play from behind.
I actually think the Sadakana is fine for DRX. I think they're ahead enough. We'll see, though, if that actually does come true, as now Sponge goes in, and it goes over to Hambach. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. They are in the backline. Rich going to die. And all of a sudden, the scaling is beginning. Chaos Storm.
Hype's excited.
Doing some well.
Hype's dead.
Okay.
We're excited.
That actually happened. I don't even know what to say.
It's fine. He's not dead. He's just retreating.
He's withdrawing. Yeah, he's fine.
Actually a big deal. I hope they don't fight for Soul and just let it go, because I really don't think it matters. But maybe you want to pick one so that your timing window for free items is aligning with the Elder.
I'm glad I got proven wrong on this, by the way. It's never okay to do Otacon in the face of 5 people.
No, just start the fight. Damage comes down on Sponge, and then it's just a 50-50, and Hambach finds his revenge. Sponge smites too early. Went down to, what, like 400?
Yeah.
And then we do have UCal getting a ton of value. Because if Hype gets like 2-3 kills here, the game actually is actually... It's still not really back. We're not so back yet, bros.
So back.
Bros, we're not back yet.
Yeah.
But that's how it starts.
They accepted it is what it is.
If they win another fight, they are actually back.
Yeah.
They just need one pick so that
they accepted that it was sober over.
Hype, exactly. Hype has his Runons. And what a comeback it would be.
Well, maybe a Drake for bro. A denial? No, it's not going to be denied. But he didn't get Poppy ulted away, at least. That's Chemtix Soul over to DRX. And now Poppy is officially unkillable. Yes, Ondil died kind of randomly on the backside there, but that's fine.
Close, I can't believe you stole Hype's kill. Rude.
That was pretty rude,
But
yeah.
also, Closure needs money desperately, so... I think it's okay. 5 minutes, that's enough time to get a third, yeah, maybe a third item on Hype if you funnel in waves. I don't think you're also getting Rabadons for Closure though, so that is a bit of a bummer.
There's still a chance. There's a chance here for the bros.
It's only 5K?
Will Wadded be denied?
Don't phrase it like that, then I feel bad for him.
I mean, that's what, he took a risk. It's fine.
Take another look. Sponge doesn't hit the ult, but does hit the smite, which is the more important of the two. And then Ondale, it's just a burner. No, was it the burn? Not sure.
He autoed
it was
him.
Leandro. He autoed him, right?
Yeah, he autoed him. Yeah.
Close, like, that's mine.
It was a chunky Orianna auto.
You're an Orianna expert. I'll
Yes.
take your word for it. Sieging continues for DRX with all that additional resilience and healing.
Yeah, I mean, their comp is very good at sieging too. You know, Caitlyn Jace.
Right, slam that redemption second, Ondale. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he might actually go Mikhails though. Like, Mikhails is actually really high value into the enemy team.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hate it. Besides, Ondale, you're a glorified Cocoon bot anyway.
Did Ondil get that blue? Looks like it. There are a bunch of question mark pings on him too. It looks like Lazyfield wanted the blue, but instead, maybe Ondil got it.
Lazyfield, we haven't talked about.
Yeah, he got it.
Is up a ton of... Yeah, we're just a little too early, right, for the... I think it's 25 for the team-wide buffs.
Yeah.
The Voided Up.
The Voided Up, yeah. Sponge? Oh yeah, I forgot. He's unkillable.
He's unkillable.
Actually unkillable.
2 items, by the way. Oh! He got his first stack! For you, Hambach. Klein Gang!
That was a big chunk, by the way. I mean, Sponge, you know, for all of his, he's unkillable. He's also very much not building a lot of tanky items.
No, he's still Poppy.
Yeah.
Well, he does... His unkillableness doesn't really start until he's below 50%.
Yeah, true.
I'm not even joking. Like, it is actually...
Yeah.
That is when he becomes a lot harder to take down. But, you know, I don't think it's over.
It's not over, yeah.
It started out as a meme.
Now it's,
But,
are we back?
Hype. Is that a BT third that I'm seeing? I don't...
Could just be a Vanish.
Maybe, yeah, okay, but I really think you need IE.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we're going to keep Hype safe, and we're going to funnel every single wave into him. That's the plan.
Hambach's here to...
He's a bodyguard.
Yeah, I think he like bursted the wave a little bit too much and Hype missed a couple, but it's okay. Not ideal, but it's okay.
And DRX, maybe just start Nash and then turn. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
Because your engage isn't great. Your pick's good, but engaging not so much. So
Set up some traps, you know, poppy ult them away if they try to come close.
there's no vision right now, so Bro is gonna have to face check at some point. DRX, I do think we need to... Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Maybe a little mindful. There
Starting
is
it up.
still ways to lose this game.
Baron attempt number 1. All right. Okay, Baron attempt number 1 is finished.
Success. You got the wards. You got a note. Now you go again.
All right. Baron attempt number 2.
Sounds like you're... it's against sports ball, you know, it's the announcing.
Let's do it.
Attempt number 2.
Yeah.
Walking up to the basket, pitch, I don't watch.
Yes. Walking up to the basket. Does the basketball player do? All right.
Oh, yeah,
Attempt number 2 is done.
Generally, it's not that easy, right?
No, yeah. I don't think you can walk up to the basket. There's a lot of defenders.
I don't know if you're playing as the bad team.
Yeah. Well, he got the Celestial opposition. All right. Attempt number 3 has begun officially.
Baron number 3.
Baron number 3 begins now. Okay, it's over.
Attempt cancel.
Attempt canceled,
So that's what? That's a,
but it
that's
still counts.
is that a strike or an out?
3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think DRX are out. They're out of the pit, you know? They're really doing their best to make sure they clear every single thing.
It is Elder Flippy time. That's what it is. Oh, he got another!
He got another stack.
It's Elder Flip time. I'm starting to get worried for DRX.
Yeah, I really am.
I'm not.
They're just standing around.
They're meandering. No good things come from not knowing what to do.
They're beginning to brew a little bit
Where's
too
my
hard.
Woodid flow chart for good team versus bad team? DRX,
Yeah.
I swear, if you lose the game from here, I'll be
I think we'll all be
a
disappointed.
little... well, I won't be a little disappointed. And I'm not angry, but I'm very disappointed.
Yeah. It's
That's as bad as it gets.
it's taking the next step.
You don't want that.
Nobody wants to see that.
No.
What they do want to see is an Elder Flip.
Oh, BT done for hype. No.
He doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to see anything. Oh, Dagon. Yeah.
They're holding on.
It's not over yet. I mean, we're 30 minutes in.
Oh, are we just going to keep the cam on for the whole... Okay, all or
If not,
nothing.
Jinx.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
A Jinx and a Dream.
Free item Jinx.
All right, here we go.
Poke is good for DRX.
Bro. Oh, stepping on a trap there. Closer takes a third of his health and damage. And now they engage on a Ridge, who is level 16, but the follow-up is not quite there. And there goes a bunch of members of Bro sailing away through the sky. 3 of them get sent. And it's just 2 free kills for DRX, and that should be the Elder Drake. And there's not much that Bro can do about it.
No! Oh my god, Woodid is such a good jester. Look at him. No wonder he was in G2.
Yep,
Dancing?
he fits.
I wonder, my real question is, where is Ox in all of this?
He's asleep on the floor.
What's he doing? All right, taking a look at this. You can't turn onto Jace. He's too beefy.
Look at this Poppy ult.
Ooh. Yeah, the Poppy ult was juicy, and even with that ultimate, it wasn't enough. Jinx was out of the fight. And now they get the Elder. They get the Baron.
네, 다 날라갔어.
They all
하면서. 네, 3명 날라갔어.
got
That was the... I mean, Sponge kind of won the game before, but that was another game-winning moment. That was big. I already put in my POM Sponge vote a while back.
Yeah, makes sense. And now we have Exodia here for DRX.
Okay.
Exodia is, of course, Elder Dragon
DRX.
buff and Baron. You can see the very cool, flashy portraits on the
Isn't
left.
it cool? It's a serious Rainbow Road vibe.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very celebratory.
I like the
Feels like you've achieved something.
I know.
with that.
So much dopamine.
Yeah, you've unlocked Exodia.
All right, DRX, we have 1 minute and 15 left. Please. Actually push. Don't be afraid. Do not stand afraid near the bro gate. Just push on. You got this.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. You know, they sit UCal in mid, and the rest of the team just pushing bot. Don't even have to send this bot the ult. Just cancel. They take down the turret.
Yeah, the fact that you can do that is still kind of insane to me.
Yeah, it is. Still no IE for Hype. As you pointed out, he did go BT third. So will he get an IE in this game on his hyperscaling carry? I think the answer at this point is no.
It's a pretty big spike. Would have been good.
Yeah, not meant to be. 30 seconds still on the Elder Dragon buff, and they can just begin to push in both mid and bots and try to end this game. And the Chaos Storm is going to tick away and do an insane amount of damage to Hambach. I mean, there's just so much continuous damage. The Elder, the Leandries, the Chaos Storm. The Poppy ult get denied. Andil is going to get pretty low, but closer, I mean, he's barely even alive in this one. We have an arm guard for Andil. He might go down. Down he goes, but so does the enemy support, Rakan. And now DRX, all they got to do is hit the Nexus and end the game. They'll take some kills with them. UCal not going to go down, just goes to Azanias, and DRX win their second series up against Bro.
And you can see the sigh of relief from Rich there. UCal immediately tapping his buddy Sponge on the shoulder. This was a really, really important win for DRX. This team felt like they were in free fall. Now they weren't quite at DNF free fall level, but they were approaching terminal velocity. It was looking rough, and I don't think the Bros had a great day today, but credit where credit is due. DRX, extremely proactive, very, very cohesive compared to a lot of games where there was none of that. This man knew his job, and he performed it admirably.
Yeah. Also had Lazyfield coming in, you know, subbing in. They get the win. Wasn't really about Lazyfield in this one, but still, fantastic job done by the entire team. Sponge, he implored us, please, give us a little bit of time. Give us time to brew, to DRX and brew. His exact words, not really. But they did. It took some time, and they looked great tonight. So I'm just glad that, you know, at least one of our bottom teams was able to shore it up and get something done, change it up. Even Andil looking pretty decent today. Was able to play the Elise to an acceptable level and get the win. I do think that Bro really need to re-examine their draft priorities and how they're going to deal with the fact that Morgan can't play Jace and their red side draft.
It's a fearless issue, because that final red side draft was basically a capitulation from the beginning. You accept that you will not have any agency in that game. There are moments where we can nitpick and be like, you should have done this better, should have done that better, sure. But realistically, like, Hambach shouldn't have died here, but he was always, if they played well, gonna be like 3-4 camps behind early on.
Yeah.
Not a lot you can do about that.
All the lanes were gonna be losing.
All the lanes were gonna be losing. Legitimately, not a single winning lane. It's unplayable. And moments like this, again, that's what we're going to focus on, but I'm with you. I think the core issue starts from the fact that we need to, or Bro rather, needs to bend itself in all kind of weird shapes just to make sure that it can work out. I don't, like Morgan not being able to play Jace, which is the kind of the focal point now, that's not the core issue, but we need an actual answer. We needs to play Nidalee, needs to pull out something crazy like the Wukong, like the Malphite. Like, it's not like Jace doesn't have any counters. The champion is strong, yes. We've seen people answer it. But when you see a pick like Ambessa, I think you generally, you just kind of know what's about to happen.
It sets the tone.
It sets the tone.
Yeah.
And not a good one, Valdez. But DRX, what a resurgence here today. Sponge with, again, Sponge's law. If he is winning, he will stomp. And stomping today he did.
Yeah. He was really channeling that peanut energy today in this Game 3. Game 3 specifically. He's literally playing Poppy, running into the enemy jungle, just doing whatever he wants. All lanes are winning, and he played it excellently. Seemed like a pretty straightforward POM. These are the final moments where DRX put the nail in the coffin.
You can see how tense it still is, despite everything, which is, I think, also the reason for the inertia that we saw in mid-game.
Yeah.
It's a really big deal for this team.
I'm glad they were at least starting Barons, you know? There have been teams in the past that are like, nope, too scared, can't do it. Basically just saying stay alive, hit the Nexus. Cal starts screaming there at the end. And yeah, those aren't the greatest numbers on the side of Pro, but they never really got to play this game. So shout out to DRX for taking down the 2-1 victory. That is their second victory of the LCK so far.
Again, this win a necessity for DRX. And there he is! Lord Sponge. The Nocturne, also, I think, a wonderful performance. That one did feel like it was a 1-2 between him and Cal.
Yeah.
But this final game, it's all Poppy. It's all Sponge.
All Poppy, all Sponge. The Poppy Sponge.
That was a clean sponge. That was one of those sponges that have been treated with...
SpongeBob.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I was going to go with, like, you know, they never get smelly. They're just always clean, never washed, only used for washing.
True. It's like Beyond Sponge, who has Sponge's Law, where either he's stomping or he's very much doing the opposite. So, nice stuff from DRX. Glad to see them get a win. We are going to go over to the POM interview. Let's hand it off to Deer.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Deer for the POM interview translation. We are here with Sponge on the side of DRX. The fans' energy is incredible here. You got your long-awaited victory. How do you feel? We lost a lot of games in a lot of matches in round 1, but I feel great being able to win today. And for the remaining round 2, we'll make sure that we improve little by little. And with today's victory, you ended the lengthy losing streak. And your head coach had mentioned that he'll identify the issues properly and address them step by step. So what did you do to stop the losses? I think we were able to pinpoint our problems and issues in the team and try to fix them. So do you think that today we were able to see the reflection of those issues? Yeah, I think so. I think we were able to showcase that we are better. And in game 1, you guys gave the Rumble Xin Zhao Azir to the enemy despite them being a high priority bans. So what was the game plan? I think our main mindset was that even if we give them those picks, that we would be able to play it out well and that we could win. And in game 3, your Poppy's counter jungling was so effective that it snowballed the game all the way to the end, and you got a huge lead in CS and the enemy jungle control. So how were you able to pull this off? So starting from the draft, I think this was pretty inevitable because we were able to pull off what we had planned ever since the level 1 setup. And another occasion to celebrate, it was also Lazy Field's LCK debut. So what did you guys talk about on the way to Low Park? On the way to Low Park, we didn't really particularly say anything special. I think we were just talking about the usual, talking about the game mostly. And we heard him speak Korean. He said, I got carried at the very end of game 1. Which player teaches him Korean? Well, first of all, I think Lazy Phil, as a person, he tries really hard to try to learn things on his own. And we don't go out of our way to try to teach him Korean, but I think our coaching staff does really well regarding trying to teach him all the necessary words that he needs to know to play out the game as a team. And that was the end of round 1 for you, which may have been a bit underwhelming at times. So what can we expect from you in round 2? I think our overall direction regarding how we want to play out the game is pretty solid now. So I think for round 2, I think our goal is to make sure that that actually reflects on our match and do well. And in the team's community forum, you left a long message to the fans saying that you're improving little by little so that the fans should kindly wait for you. And we could really tell how heartfelt that message was. So would you like to share a message with the fans? We put in so much effort to try to show you and give you this victory, just like today. And I feel like we are definitely feeling that improvement as a team. So please be patient with us. And thank you so much for your support. And that's the end of the interview with Sponge, and back to the space. Thank you.